The summer sun poured gently through the blinds of Emily Carter's home in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Virginia. The house, though warm and inviting, had an unusual silence to it that day. Her husband, Michael, had left early in the morning for a work conference in New York, and their two children were spending the weekend with Emily's sister in another town. Emily had thought she'd welcome the solitude, a break from the constant chaos of motherhood, errands, and responsibilities. She made herself a fresh cup of coffee and sank into the living room couch, wrapping a soft blanket around her even though the day was warm. For the first time in months, she had the house to herself. No schedules. No interruptions. Just her thoughts and the faint ticking of the clock on the wall. But Emily wasn't at peace. As much as she tried to enjoy the silence, her mind kept wandering. She had been married to Michael for 12 years. To anyone on the outside, their life looked picture-perfect. A beautiful home, two healthy kids, careers that kept them financially stable, and vacations every summer. Yet beneath that carefully crafted exterior, Emily often felt an ache, a restlessness she couldn't explain. Michael was a good man, reliable, hardworking, caring toward the children, but somewhere along the line, their marriage had turned into more of a partnership than a romance. She told herself this was normal. After all, life had a way of reshaping love into something quieter, steadier. Still, she longed for a spark, something to remind her she was alive beyond her roles as a mother and wife. It was around noon when the doorbell rang. Emily wasn't expecting anyone. She froze, cup in hand, her heart suddenly beating faster. Visitors were rare when Michael was away. She hesitated for a moment, then stood and peeked through the window beside the door. On the porch stood Daniel Hayes. Emily's breath caught in her throat. Daniel was her neighbor 2 houses down, a man in his mid-30s with dark hair, sharp features, and an easy smile that could disarm anyone. He had moved to the neighborhood just a year ago after his divorce, and though polite and kind, he carried an air of mystery about him. Emily had spoken to him a few times, brief exchanges about the weather, trash collection, or the neighborhood barbecue. Nothing more. But now he stood at her door, holding what looked like a small bag of groceries. She opened the door cautiously. "Daniel? Hi, is everything okay?" He smiled, shifting the bag in his hands.
Hey, Emily. Sorry to bother you.
"I accidentally bought a few things in bulk and thought maybe you could use them. It's just some fruit and bread. I didn't want it to go bad." Emily blinked, taken aback. "Oh, that's thoughtful of you. Thank you." He handed her the bag, and their hands brushed for the briefest second. Emily felt a strange flutter in her chest. She told herself it was nothing, just surprise at the unexpected visit. She invited him in, not out of necessity, but because politeness compelled her. "Come in for a minute," she said. "It's too hot to stand out there." Daniel stepped inside, glancing around the living room with curiosity. "Nice place. Cozy." "Thanks," Emily replied, setting the bag on the counter. "So, you really just bought too much fruit," she teased lightly, trying to break the sudden tension in the air. He chuckled. "Well, partly. But honestly, I was just looking for an excuse to say hi. The neighborhood feels quiet lately, and I figured, why not?" Emily raised her eyebrows. His honesty disarmed her. She offered him a seat, and before she knew it, the two of them were sitting across from each other in the living room, coffee mugs in hand. What began as small talk slowly turned into something deeper. Daniel asked about her life, her family, her work. He listened intently, something Emily hadn't experienced in a long time. Michael, though kind, often seemed distracted when she tried to share her feelings. Daniel, on the other hand, leaned in, his eyes locked on hers, as if every word she spoke mattered. Hours passed unnoticed. Emily laughed more in that afternoon than she had in weeks. She caught herself studying Daniel's smile, the way his eyes softened when he spoke about his childhood, the warmth in his voice. There was no denying it. Something inside her stirred, something she thought she had lost years ago. But with that stirring came guilt. She was married. This was just a neighborly visit, nothing more. And yet, when Daniel's hand brushed hers again as he reached for his coffee, Emily didn't pull away immediately. The air between them grew heavier, charged with unspoken words. Daniel noticed her hesitation and leaned back slightly.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to overstep. Emily's face flushed. No, that's fine. She struggled for words. He gave her a gentle smile. I get it. You don't have to explain. The silence that followed wasn't uncomfortable. It was thick with possibilities. Emily's heart pounded as she realized she was standing at the edge of something dangerous, something that could shatter the life she had built. But at the same time, it was tempting. The unexpected visitor had not only stepped into her house, but also into the fragile corners of her heart.